back. We're in take 2. I don't know for minutes what's going on, but we're going to have to go again. So for those of you that see this video after we have our little session, all over YouTube at the moment, there are videos that are being blocked. So we're going to try again. And I tried to do a Pinterest ad today. It doesn't adhere to community guidelines. And I was like, so does astrology and star signs, I mean, isn't it equal to advertising, really? I'm just saying, I just had this absolute laugh today. I was like, okay, isn't advertising misleading regardless? If you say, hey, by the way, if you want to come and join us, I just thought it was really funny. Anyway, we're going to do Divine Feminine's update. Again, during Mercury retrograde. Oh, God, never ends. I'm telling you, business. I'll take off the mask. I don't know. I think we're being pretty done on it. Transparent. No rest for the wicked. Well, I had intended to do Divine Feminines yesterday, and then today we were going to get down to the crux of it with Divine Masculine and the Karmic, but that just didn't happen. So we're just starting all over again. We've got to do it all today. So you guys will probably fall asleep. I do have the Abraham Hicks cards out. I've got the Ruin cast here. Oh, heck, Feminines, what's going on here? So something obviously has shifted for us to have to reconvene and come back again. What the heck is this? Oh, okay. We're going to make some room. You want to come and help me? And whenever I add a new app to the website, I've got to write it down on my bloody book so I know where everything is spread on different platforms. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Well, look, between now and the 3rd of June, we may be rethinking some things. So let's see. Okay, right now I have selected different cards. I was like, you know what, Tarot, you can just go. You can go right now. We're going to do it intuitively. I want to look at the deeper energy of this psychically because something's up. Again, July. July keeps coming up. My guides keep mentioning something. Whatever we're doing now, it's so that July looks different for us. I don't know why they keep mentioning July. July must be pretty important for us. It could be the context of the new moon in Cancer next month. Could be. Could be. And yeah, that would make sense because, you know, the shadow sign of Capricorn, which is in the house Pluto at the moment, which is very scorpionic, is Cancer. So whatever we're letting go of, it's to really... the mother energy, the empress energy, it's to nurture it, to get it back on track. So that can be ourselves. That can be that self-love, that self-care, that self-esteem, raising that vibration and getting to the point where you're raising the benchmark. It's really funny because, you know, some of you might be looking at it thinking, hey, you know, I've been pretty transparent. Because the card's 11. It's saying take off your mask. And I'm thinking, okay, do we have a mask on? Now, the 2 cards, ironically enough, I cleared the deck. One card was on the floor. My guides told me keep it. The other, I cleared the cards and it was hidden under the computer. And so I've kept both of those. And we're going to see what they are. They may have a deeper meaning in the context of the crowning energy, which is to take off our mask. So it could be an uncovering truth, a belief, something that we didn't realize, capacity we had with inside ourselves. We're going to get the Ruin cast. Ta-da! I crowned and I voted yesterday. And for those of you that do follow my private account on Facebook, we had a little bit of a laugh. Not that I can say it on YouTube, but I voted for a very interesting party. And then I went and got my nail fixed. I didn't have time to get them all redone. So I got the thumb done. I broke the thumbnail yesterday. Opening a bloody washing powder box. I'm like, of all things, really? I was like, legit. Don't have time. Good old Uranus and Taurus. Come on. I hope I'm entertaining you. You want to come and look through it? I need a 2IC. So we went from Scorpio yesterday, for those of you that did join us, to now we're in the mix of Aquarius, which is wider group energies, hopes and dreams and aspirations, burdens. Aquarius is the group energy, so it's how we're interlinking with others. You could feel at the moment a little bit rebellious, but it also could be a burden associated to wherever Aquarius is in your chart. It is in the upright, however. It is also relating to both Saturn and Uranus, which does make sense, as Divine Feminine did have the eclipse last month. The shadow sign of that eclipse previously is Scorpio. So it's the yin to the yang. Now we're still having to remember the feminine attribute. Remember, I said a lot of us were in the masculine energy, having to do that hunter-gatherer, having to really nurture ourselves. Reminds me, obviously, because I said July. The shadow sign of it also is Cancer. So it's to do with the inner feminine. So the individual self, individual family members, friendships, associations, race memory, rational intelligence, esoteric, transcendental, I can't say it today, it's Mercury retrograde, transcendental consciousness, the individual as a microorganism, shaman and spiritual healer. Are you having a laugh? I hope your face isn't hurting, giggle. It's where we're coming out of the darkness and we're connecting with Gaia. Yes, the mortal body and the external consciousness. Humanity is a marvelous thing and worthy of being cherished. I think it's the empath coming back, okay? But again, we're looking not only at ourselves, but also at the bigger picture at hand. We're also looking at time because it does connect to social responsibility. Saturn, it relates to Uranus and Taurus, the connection to time, sudden changes, how our bodies are affected, how our emotions are affected by all these changes. Are we getting tense through all of this? So it's the monkey mind, but it's the rational mind. So with all of these circumstances, you're trying to make common sense of it. And this could be you putting a brave face on. So I don't take this, I don't know why, I'm really not taking this as a negative card. It's like, the brave face in the mix of the direct connection. Oral surgery here. Yeah, she's making it expensive. We're going to be keeping it clean today. But I'll let you read the cards, right? It is the sacral chakra energy, which was Scorpio. So at the minute, there can be an inflammation, okay? Inflammation, emotion, trying to be logical, but there's a tension point, okay? This tension point, honoring the place in one another where you are, and this is the yin to the yang that you, oh God, I forgot to get the bloody battery. You're going to see me move now. I'll be back. It was going dark. You know the funny thing, Giggle? I'm probably the worst therapist for Giggle at the moment after her surgery. Her face is probably hurting her, but we'll go flat if I don't plug in. So you get to see me in my tracksuit pants, and we'll go back to it. We're back. So what was I saying? Let's reverse back to come forward. It's the yin and yang. You're honoring the place inside yourself of the masculine attributes, but the feminine. But you also want to be honored. You don't just want it to be a one-sided transaction. What I'm getting is from a rational point of view. Although we know we have the emotional situation inside the twin flame path, now I'm puffed out. You've also got the emotional situation. So emotionally speaking, you could be looking at your situation with your twin at the moment and going, I totally understand and empathize to do with the situation that you've got going on, but you separately have an emotion relating to it, which is honorable too. So I sort of feel it's that brave face that divine feminine's putting on. It's not that you don't have empathy and understanding, But it's kind of clashing. Something's got to give. Does that make sense? It makes sense. It's like, you know, sometimes when you think a certain thought and you think, how do I explain it? You know what I'm talking about. It's like you're looking at it and going, well, where the bloody hell are you been? But in the same notion, if you do know certain attributes and you know it's a healing process because you've been there, done that yourself, that part of it you understand and empathize. But on the opposite side, you're kind of like, yeah, but, you know, I'm connected to this too. Now, your cards are really interesting. I'm going to pull an Abraham Hicks card. You have the lucky clover in reverse in the past. Well, you didn't have much luck in the past, right? I think most of us are thinking that. Yeah, you those things were uncontrollable. We know that, okay? So you're kind of moving away from it. You feel that you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. But something that wasn't so great, you've moved through. It's been challenging. You kind of felt, if you do look at it quite rationally, maybe it wasn't quite ripe, maybe it wasn't quite ready. So you get that. And you know, it's showing that you can't really control the past. So it's the monkey mind, getting a grip back on reality, knowing that the past is the past. We can't go back. If we could, maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't, but you're very different on the opposite side of it. Now, it's interesting because in the heart of it, the rational mind of how you're tackling the circumstance, and it's really interesting because you have the Star in reverse. Now, this can be a feeling of a broken heart. This is what I'm getting. It's like almost this overwhelm that maybe it's cursed, maybe it won't work, feeling unlucky in love. But another energy I've got coming through is because you have the logic, the empathy, the understanding, the being rational, that's where you'll get your success from. So it's, to me, it's, you know, if you reactional, it will be bad luck. It won't help a situation that is directly occurring at the moment, but you're also feeling, to do with the circumstance with your twin, that you know certain things would need to happen. Saturn and Uranus and Taurus, they can happen drastically and very quickly, but some things would need to change. The other message I have is that a tower would have to occur for the star, and some of you are feeling on their side a tower hasn't occurred, therefore the star can't be so. However, you are moving towards a proposal. So it could be, like I said, the individual coming towards you, offering you something, coming in prematurely, maybe you going back and second guessing yourself, thinking that, hey, hang on a minute, I thought we were moving forward. Hi, Dale. But there is this proposal here, okay? So it is going to have an outcome, but you know, most of you are feeling in the heart of hearts, something has to go down in order for you to receive that, that star card. Sometimes when we do look at that, that can be the revelation and the epiphany that potentially another person would get hurt, or a person would need to go through their healing for that to happen. And sometimes we can really move into the empath energy, and we can have empathy and understanding, depending on the circumstance, because we've walked a mile maybe in the other person's shoes. But there can be an attachment and tradition coming up on divine feminine side that maybe there's guilt associated to that. And it's something that we need to come to terms with, let go and release, because that's their path. This is ours. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this. And we are going to go into the extension. We're going to try and do these punchy because you guys need your information. And I've got 6 to do in 2 hours. Yeah, there's healing here. Okay, there's also an understanding that within divine masculine's life, whatever they're dealing with, that potentially they are, for some, they can be dealing with an emotional situation. They can be dealing with healthy boundaries. You know, and again, I'm noticing the orange on the card with the Kundalini, the serpent rising, which is the scorpion energy that we had. And for the next 6 months, you'll find all of this is changing. And it doesn't mean, when we say a transit goes for 6 months, it doesn't mean that nothing happens. No, it means from here to there, it will totally look different. So in the mix of this, you're going to find that there is something rising in divine masculine, and they know that something is changing. They know that they're having to leave it. They also know that if an environment isn't making them flourish, it is going to come to an end. A doctor who offers hope can be of much value. This is what the card says. And so this is about a revelation inside of it. And I'm noticing it's looking like wings going to the serpent rising. The position of the serpent, well, the serpent's head is near the higher heart chakra. And Mercury at the moment is relating to throat and higher heart chakra. So it is heart chakra activation. Okay. You're trying not to be judgmental on this, but some of you are feeling you really want to ride this out. You really want to see how this plays out. Some of you are thinking you don't quite know what to do. Some of you are feeling misunderstood and misrepresented. But there could be something in the mix. Let's get a clarifier. Yeah, it's like you don't want to be manipulated. Let me put it that way. Like I said, you're looking at it rationally. You could be putting a brave face on, even though sometimes it could be pretty down. Me too, girl. My natural state is one of well-being. Okay, I told you guys you need to look after yourself. The last 2 weeks, I think since the beginning of the month, it's been eat, pray, repeat, and it's been 7 days a week. And I think all of us, you know, in some shape, this is about wellness, in getting prepared this week, trying to keep organised, knowing there is a tackling of these things. By the 3rd, a lot of us are going to have revelations, and I feel those revelations, and that's the 3rd of next month. You're going to have revelations of how to get that balance back. But you're taking, you know, at a foundation level, look at the card. This is the foundation. Very Pluto. Something's got to give. Something's got to change for a rebirth, tackling and digging in, digging the rot out. But you also feel you can't get rid of everything, okay? Are you feeling out of foof and passion? Yes. We have the Fire card in reverse. That can be burnout, okay? That can be a feeling of burnout, feeling that you're not going to get your wish, maybe second guessing some of the things that you're organizing in your life. Also feeling very different towards your masculine, potentially between now and the end of the week. Some of you could just have this revelation, oh, I don't feel I'm attracted to them anymore. Do remember that when they're not there, this situation, you know, when we're having that epiphany and revelation, generally it's because a cycle inside of that connection and a lesson that we needed to learn, we've kind of come to terms with. But because you come to terms with it, it's just where you stand. It's not to say that if that person came in and they met with you and, you know, they had evolved and that the chemistry wouldn't be there. But when you're coming to terms with things, you know, that emotion at times can crop up where you feel there's nothing there. Okay, some of you that do have a twin who's in a karmic relationship and a family-related dynamic, some of you are feeling that that's not ending. And it doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. Again, tribal family, and we do have the card of, we have the ruins that was relating to Uranus and Taurus and was relating to Saturn, which is about accountability. Some of you feel that this person cannot deal with this situation. Some of you feel that this person is repeating patterns. Some of you feel maybe they're set in their ways and they're not going to liberate themselves, but they don't have, you know, the power to do that. Hi, Dale. The other thing I'm getting is, do remember this card that comes up in relation to where you stand, Divine Feminines, which is the Star card in reverse, which means in order to get your heart's desire, something would have to end. You know, the overriding clarifier was saying that why would you believe that your counterpart would remain in a situation that is coming to an end? It is coming to an end, but it's the empath energy that you're going into, and you're feeling as though you could have empathy for whatever this ending is going to be. But at the same time, like I said, you're rationally looking at it and going, hey, look, I do empathise, but at the end of the day, you know, it would have to happen in order for this to be successful. Like I said, there is a proposal. You, on a very personal level, I do feel you're going through a rebirth. I feel you're looking after your health. You're coming to terms with the past. It's not that, you know, it was all horrible, but there has been some things that haven't been really sitting where you wanted them to. And you definitely feel in a judgment sense. You haven't had time to even think. You know, some of you haven't really had time. It might have been a lot of dynamics going on with family, a lot of dynamics going on with maybe mother or father. It might be with your own inner nurturing or you as a direct parent. I do feel some of you have been, like I said, I do feel a lot of feminines being in the masculine energy. And this is to do with hunter-gatherer mode. It's trying to have that survival instinct, but also trying to find 5 to actually look after yourself. I mean, like I said, yesterday I had 5 minutes to vote. I'm so glad I went on a Friday, not a Saturday. And then 5 minutes to get a nail done. That was it. That was my self-care. I don't know if voting's self-care, but anywho, it was something I had to do. So, you know, the nurturing, the baths, the you know, a walk on the beach, something nurturing that you need to do. I feel my guides are saying you need to take 5. You need to take a minute. I know you guys have like lots of things that you're dealing with and everything's coming at you. Try and find the comedy in it, although I think some of you would just be a little bit too tired to find the comedy. But if you can, try and find the comedy. Not all of it's just Mercury retrograde. Now, I'm feeling July is a time of change within this connection. Now, I'm going to pull 3 more cards. Then we're going to go into the extension because I want to dig deeper into Divine Masculine. There is something in the mix to do with this wish here. Hi, love. There is something in the mix of this wish here. Some of you could be changing and change towards your path. And that I wouldn't say it's to do with the twin. I think it's in general, just your opinion of maybe a circumstance you're dealing with at the moment. You know, some of you are second guessing and maybe there's self-esteem coming up due to fatigue, where you're just feeling you're not going to get your hopes and desires because you've got wish in reverse and you've got hope in reverse. And it's just the fatigue. Took my allergy meds for the first time. Oh, yeah, I've been doing that so much lately. Yep. I call it the bubonic pressure. Oh, okay. I don't know. There is communication coming in. So, maybe it's the communication that is making you second guess it, because I did warn you guys about this. The communication style and gossip, be very careful of what you're hearing. The other thing I will say is don't stress, okay? Because I'm kind of getting, there's a bit of a spiritual test here, but overall, you guys have a lot going on. So in the mix of this connection, if you are in direct communication or you're aware of what your twin is doing, I feel it's almost like you're losing hope. You're feeling it's not going anywhere, and psychologically you're letting go. And I do feel there's movement in communication. Some of you can be getting gossip. Be very careful of what you're looking for. You look for it, you'll find it, but it usually is showing an attachment inside of you. But I'm really feeling mostly it's just point blank zero. An attitude you're picking up on could be triggering you, and there could be cross wires occurring due to that. Not necessarily. I'm not getting a bad feeling at all, actually. I just get a feeling that there's an angst relating to the communication style or something in the mix due to either no communication or communication you have had with this person. And for some of you, you're not impressed. You're just unimpressed and uninspired. Yes, it's supposed. Yeah. Well, we're having rain tomorrow, which I'm kind of glad for, really, because they've been doing burn-off. So, you know, to clear the air wouldn't be bad. Of course you're being nauseous for a reason. The transits at the moment with Scorpio are to do with, look, Scorpio and astrology, for instance, and that's why I said, you know, follow your wellness report on the website. It'll give you tips. But I've been feeling nauseous for about 2 weeks. You tend to find with Pluto and with Scorpio transits, everything sits really heavy. You know, it's a time you potentially could get food poisoning or things like that. You just can feel generally off. And because you are Aries, Pluto retrograde, Jupiter in Aries, the Scorpionic eclipse, they're all interlinked. And so it does affect both the gut, your nervous system, its amplification because it's a Jupiter, so you go. And so the ascension comes through the body. So it's just about eating light, drinking fluid, maybe having some sweet tea, and just going easy on the foods, being careful of those milk products. You know, if you're going, say, from too much caffeine, it's going to affect you. You're going to get agitated because the shadow sign of Scorpio is Taurus, and that's like the nervous system. Yeah, that's about the best way I can describe it. But being careful and eating slowly, but just not things that could curdle, eating light. And I tried to keep away from meat products this month due to the fact that Scorpio in the transit could denote off food, rotten. Check the use by dates. But yeah, your coffee could curdle in your gut. Coffee is making me feel off, which is unusual. Because if your stomach's empty and you're adding an acid compound into it, it's going to make you nauseated. So if you're not eating solid meals, it's going to curdle because it's a lot of acid build up. So small meals, you know, small sandwich, maybe some crackers, having some fruit, like a tub of fruit or something like that. That's going to, because when we're busy, we avoid caring for self. And this whole reading at the moment is really saying we need to care for self. I'm eating mummy. You're a dag. Yin and yang. You've got to get your bodies in harmony at the moment. Some of you also could be looking at, okay, I'm, you know, wanting to get on a health kick. Found love for jelly. Oh, don't get me started. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, you know what? I just want some jelly or something like that. See, another word I remember. Okay. We're going to move into any questions before I go. You got communication coming in, okay? This is what I've got. But whatever this information is, from what I'm summing up here at the minute, it does appear to be, you've got a lot going on. It does appear to be that information can come in. You may second guess the ability for this person to ascend. There is a proposal here in the mix. It may come in prematurely, but I do feel this proposal is still here nevertheless. There could be a question, something to do with your work environment at the moment that you're changing. I'm also seeing the need for health and wellness to get into balance, and I feel you guys are recouping for the next month's transits. The other thing I feel is you could get a little bit of emotional just at a drop of a hat, like want to burst into tears. But I do feel it's just as soon as that happens, you're getting a phone call. If you want to come through and see the extension come through, and then after that extension, I'll have a mini break and we'll come back and we'll do the karmic. Or do we want to do the masculine? Which one? Come through and tell me. B5.